Who will once again take the lead? Will it be Vitality for the first?
Because when you look at compositions of this caliber, the question is who can perform better in lane? Mid trios, so important this time around, but with a Bauman, there's just so much more you can do. How long you could stay on the map, so much sustain.
We gotta figure it out, man. It's not just the sustain, it's also the classic Leo. Shove it! The ultimate lethal counter. You go for that insta-retry on the neutral objective. So Navi, the advantage that they were coming in to game number 1 with, the fact that they have CC immunity and a 50-50 clean, they won't have it here. Plus, obviously, that mid-prio. And then we also have to talk about the physical defense shred that has been moved from first skill to second skill. So Chell and Vivian, with technically Vivian also has a physical shred. So this is just going to be Fumi Echo wreaking havoc, especially because she went lethal ignition.
Yep, it's just a lot of damage. However, they have to coordinate it well. They got to mark their targets as soon as they can. And not to mention the fact that they already have lethal ignition just goes to show, hey, I don't mind just touching you for a little bit, but you will get bursted down.
Oh.
And speaking of bursting down, Shell already doing a very good job getting a lead in the lane.
Yeah, not the best of lanes there in terms of matchups for the Claude against the carry. That's why they were so comfortable picking up the carry with the Yve, knowing full well that if you want to try to counter the Yve, you're going to have to go Claude, but that means the lane will be given over to Vitality as Fumi Echo tries to bait not Ayanami in. Vivian with a walk-up as well. Concussive blast onto Ayanami, putting a lot of damage on her, but Fumi Echo's going to get caught. Mirai, great backup, Vivian. Escaping with the Shunpu, and it's Navi who strike first.
Beautifully played, and this is right after Ayanami actively took a trade against Fumi Echo. So again, just trying to drag out and wait for those cooldowns to come back. Rian, unfortunately, taking so much damage. All of this just to try and get somewhere close to the wave.
And that's a big one for not Ayanami. Now Navi have proper setup to actually stun Vival down for the first neutral objective as Keishi starts it, and the Dragon is up. Black Dragon Frog gonna be used up straight up into trying to zone Vival out of this turtle pit. Vival's trying to escape right now, but he's gonna be caught by the damage again. Lethal counter in the rectory. Vival still gets it despite it all, and the jungle falls as well. Now it's Mirai caught under the RWM as Vivian walks up, but now she's caught in the RWM. Immobilized in that zone. Fumi Echo with Cine dropping down bombs.
Again.
Oh, up top.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Rian ends up dying for it. A solo kill for Chell.
Sokolil. Vitality strike, and in one fell swoop, despite the small wins from Navi in the laning phase, they couldn't convert onto the big objective.
But do you hear that? Do you hear the Vitality fans? They're really taking this momentum from that game number 2 and bringing that same energy here in game number 3. And it's only more proactive that we are seeing Vitality move across this map. Because once again, Vivian double checking whether or not the purple buff is open to give information to Fumi Echo. Hey, if Keishi doesn't see you, you can go for that big one-shot we were talking about. You have so much damage in the early game.
And that's why you have to respect the Bauman. They were doing all they can to respect it, to be fair. But once she got into the vicinity of the turtle, lethal counter retry is guaranteed. There is no way for a Nolan to out retry that unless it's just miscalculated by Vival.
Yep, it's unlosable in a lot of scenarios, like the old Suyo, but still relevant as Ayanami taking this full fire. Fumi Echo tries, Black Dragon form getting called here.
Vival has the lethal counter. If she drops down just a bit, oh my god, she might be taken out from the skies. Gets away just in time, but she stays.
No.
Ayanami with a bench by the Furious Dive. They're going to go in onto Fumi Echo. The way the Dragon comes around with a lethal counter. Shove it. Vival picks up the kill up top. It's Cine. Caught in the 1v3. Can she escape? She flickers out to safety past the RWM.
Oh man, that was a game of Dance Dance Revolution for sure. You're able to sidestep basically everything and still maintaining a good amount of health. However, Shell needs to get back into this lane, and Navi is denying them that space. Vitality need to make some choices. They still have to deal with the turtle down on bot side, so they cannot commit everything to alleviate space on top.
It's free. Maybe Rain can deal with it with a splash of damage. Vivo with the retry. Vivian still trying to buy as much time as possible, just being an absolute nuisance to Keishi in the jungle.
Just gotta show Just gotta show that presence, and I think that's the beautiful thing here, right? Khalid, Cho, all of the...
My god, Vivian!
Wait, potential dive here. Vinay, gotta hold on to that BMI. You can't show exactly where it is. As long as you don't show it, Vivian ain't gonna engage on you for free.
Oh, Fumi. Oh, what is that damage, my guy? Right through the XP crab as she gets it, and She bursts Ayanami down.
Hey, gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. They've got a pretty significant... Hey, a one-level lead in EXP is a lot for a lot of these laners. And not to mention, with that lethal ignition, it's a lot harder for not Ayanami to win this out.
Uh-oh. Mirai with a walk-up. Great read on the dash by Mirai. Baits out the flicker. Mirai tries to go for a little bit more now, but look at the backup from the rest of the team. Cine and Vivel has already rotated towards the top lane. Navi not able to get that trade in structures.
Oh, finally, Vitality said, you know what? They're putting so much pressure on you. Just take the mid wave. Cine is going to swap lanes with you and maintain that. Mirai should be... Oh, no.
Wait, the Dragon lethal counter. They're going to try to feed it over. Mirai gets a massive taunt. Oh, it's a cancel. The Blazing Duet. Straight into the knockout striker from Mieko.
Can they get anything off of this? No, they call it off. And Vivian getting disrespectful. Ayanami's thinking about it. They know they don't have the way of the Dragon, but the RWM is still in play.
This is going to be a Nolan with no purple buff at 5 minutes. Up top, it's the carry. Chell taking a structure down below. It's from Mieko. These side laners work in double time.
Again, this is what we were expecting in the Balmond versus Assassin matchup, especially when an Assassin needs purple buff. We've seen it happen many times already. Oh my god. No way they're going to commit even further than this, right? I mean, Fumieko's barely taking any damage, but even so, that's really because not Ayanami just doesn't have the items yet.
I want to see what items Fumieko is on right now.
Oh, no wonder.
Hunter Strike and a Legion Sword already. That has... I think it's a Sea Halberd.
Yeah, I think it's going to build into the Sea Halberd as well. There is an argument that maybe you could lean into it later on and look for something else. I honestly kind of feel like Fumieko can even go for a Malefic Roar if she wanted to, but I think the smarter option is for the anti-heal. Even Keishi is having a little bit of troubles here as Cine now joining Vivian in this Roman expedition.
And, oh, Vivel. Into the bottom lane, they just burst her down even through the Petrify! And the Furious dive, the lethal counter didn't even land! No, they try to go for compensation on Vivian. That's a G Kundo. She runs out of the Wrath of the Dryad and baits out the RWM! Chell with the punish, now they all punish! Chell, it's an all-in, but Fumieko in the back line, and Vivel's just waiting in that tier 2. Vivian getting the way of the dragon on Keishi!
The awareness is just crazy from Vitality. That was a planned play from literally top all the way down to the bottom to corral the sheep right into the mid lane. They are capturing Navi right now. And I think the Navi, they got to be proactive. I think, unfortunately, the choice of ultimates here needs to be maybe not just the RW, or maybe even arguably a way of the Dragon if necessary.
Vivian, she was the one who baited everything out. RWM, the Wrath of the Dryad, and Chell flickered forward. That's how comfortable she was. Now they're going to go in for the dive in the bottom lane again. Rian hasn't had the best of games so far. Fumieko just waiting for the double dash. Knockout strike. Oh, lethal counter from Vivel. Now it's the retaliation. Now it's the punish. You did that to our goal later. Now you must pay. RWM will save from City.
This is ridiculous. Vitality.
What?
With the... Oh no, they canceled out the recalls, but at least nothing is punishable at this point. But Vitality, they're starting to mess. They've kind of downloaded a little bit of the tactics that Navi has. They're recognizing some bad habits and some... Well, even I have noticed a couple of pathways when they're on autopilot. Their pathing is becoming a little linear now.
In normal situations like that, Gideon, you're 5-12, you get a kill on the Paquito, it should be a good trade. But the fact that it's a goal laner and there was no shutdown, there was no bounty on Fumieko, that means Rian's gonna have it even more delayed. That item power spike that they're desperately waiting for.
I think it's gonna be 11 minutes or maybe even 12 arguably if it keeps up like this before the Trinity is even complete. Fumieko now looking on the side, sees not Ayanami as well as Mirai, but at the same time, this is what Vitality like to do. If you want to go to the bottom side, sure, let's push out mid. We could potentially flank you, and Navi has no choice but to back up because bottom and mid tier 1s are non-existent.
Oh, that top wave is looking good right now. Maybe jumps from G Kundo. Oh, a big miss, a big whip from Cine. And that's the punish from Ayanami straight onto Vivian. Fumieko with a jump, but she's only 1 against 4 right now. Mirai getting a massive taunt. And another big kill on the Paquito, this time on the hands of Keishi.
Okay. They end up losing 2 here, but is Navi going to force the scenario? Because again, that top wave is still pushing, so Vitality can hang around here for as long as they want. If they are able to tax the health enough, maybe they can get Navi off of this.
Whoa. Ayanami's gonna walk up again, gets covered the lethal counter! A straight Kumar moment, she knew the Balmond was there. Blazing away out to Cini and Vival right now, but she's able to sustain for a minute. Xiao Jones into the back line, and Keishi won't be able to get the retry. It's Rian who steals it away and saves it for Navi. But Xiao with the flicker in forward, trying to go for a bit more kills. Mirai doesn't have the Wrath of the Dryad. Vival walks back up right now as the chase continues, and Vivian is trying to go for the G Kundo, but she will save that flicker for later. Navi, great hit and run.
Oh boy. And that's how they just have to play the game, unfortunately. They gotta stay on their toes. Looking at the item list as well, War Axe already done 2 tank items on top of the Cursed Helm to speed up the clear and also apply real damage towards Navi's side. They can't deal with these longer fights. Maybe Yuzong, but Yuzong can only deal with so many people at once.
And now it's how Navi convert on this. They see Chell. They know she doesn't have a flicker. They bait out the ultimate, and that's about it. Now Navi build again with the Lord. Down below, though, the Holy Shield's gonna go down to the minions.
And Fumieko, if nobody responds to this, there's a possibility they might be able to just clear out that wave. They don't need her right now, as we see that Navi is slowly taking pressure up mid.
I'm just trying to go for a flank right now. Just walk straight up, and Rian has her physical defense shredded just a bit by Vival up top as well. It's going to be good for Navi to try to get this tier 2 down. Vitality have done a good job dealing with the mid wave and now the bottom wave, but up top is where they should look at next. This could possibly be a siege into the base turret. Black Dragon form as well. They want to commit.
Oh, they're going to try here. Prolific Aurora has been purchased by Fumieko, and as soon as she reveals herself, the rest of Navi call off the attack.
It's because of Fumieko down below. They know they have the Lord, they need to convert, but it's not worth if they go and lose their own base turret, because it's the far lane down below that Fumieko was threatening.
This is difficult. This is a difficult position to be in. With no holy shieldings, a single mistake could net Vitality an inhibitor. And at this point, I would imagine with Kichi's item power spike, it should be more than enough. But in terms of damage dealt, Cini is the one who's sitting right at the top. Vival at second here in terms of damage dealt.
Whoa, Mirai? Jumps in all alone, has to flicker out of there. And that's why once Cini used the RWM, once she whiffs it, Navi pounced on Vitality. And also, it should be a lesson for Vitality, learning after that big mistake. If Cini whiffs or if their backliners can't reach them, they have to just call it off.
That's the important thing. But hey, they have a lot of faith in each other, right? They will learn from this mistake. And I think from Navi's side, the question is how good of a play does it need to be to ensure themselves a victory? Or at least a 3 for 4, 2 for 3, as long as they're positive.
This is the problem, though. Navi, with this kind of composition, you would usually think they can play in the side lane. Hold on. They're trying to catch Fumieko down below. Won't be able to find it, but the Claude cannot match the Paquito right now. Rian cannot deal with Fumieko, and that's why they're going to have to stick together. I wonder if Rian's already hit those item power spikes, though. I think that's a big one. Have a look at the items to see if Rian has it.
Zipper, let's pull up the item list right here, right now. Thank you so much, Zipper. Big ups. 3 items already complete. Looking to get a Winds of Nature as well. In comparison to the opposite side.
Fumieko.
Oh, can they do this? No, they've already triggered it. Yeah. Vitality, they set up the chokehold once again. No choice. They were going to lose an inhibitor for it.
And they have to make a decision whether to back off or to go for the fight. They go for the fight, but it's only 4v4 right now. Bounty in at the bottom lane. They're going to go for the commitment right now as Vivian jumps in. The Wrath of the Dryad is able to connect in the back line, but Vivian's going to go for the chase on Keishi. Finds the way of the dragon.
They got the kick. Lethal counter takes it. They got the Lord of Chell. Deals Ayanami.
Who's here is Fumieko. Punishing with the help of the RWM. Look at Keishi running through the hills, but it is onto the bush, and Chell's going to try to go for the read, and she cancels the recall. Keishi jumps in, but Chell has the win of nature. Fumieko will be sacrificed for it.
At least they got the RWM out of Rain, and at this point with the Lord coming in, as long as Cini maintains her distance, Rain will not be able to steal back a real war manipulation from her. Chell, finally, full item build. The Malefic Gun, we've been waiting for so long for it. With the Malefic Gun, she'll be able to maintain her distance against the majority of the heroes, as Vitality could be looking for the end, but Mirai's coming back up.
I think the safe place to go for the guaranteed base turrets right now. Wave bot will guarantee the base turret bot. There's no wave up top. Navi have done a good job. Now it's up to Vitality to try to play with this Lord. Keishi's up in 1. No chance.
They're going to back away. They're going to breathe. They're going to say, you know what? There's just too much risk. Not enough reward. We want to close out this game, but we want to guarantee. And we've seen Vitality do this. They like ending their games closer to the 17th minute if necessary, because mistakes are costly at this stage of the tournament.
And that's why Rain is crucial in these skirmishes. for the Lord, if they wanted to go for the gamble on the Lord, they need some more CC, some peel. Not for their backliner, for Keishi on the retry. Because the team did such a good job. Mirai already got the Wrath of the Dryad, not Ayanami as well, sticking onto Vival, but Vivian was doing the same on Keishi.
But that's the thing, I really think it should be not Ayanami going to deal with these waves rather than Rain in these scenarios, because at least you have the Black Dragon form to kind of just run through. But Navi understand, hey, the Black Dragon form is going to force Vitality to back away, or maybe that's what it's supposed to do, but with the guarantees on this Balmon, like the collateral is so little, there's so little risk. It's a difficult scenario to be in.
Very difficult.
I'm literally trying to figure out a way for them to catch like something off. Like, unless Mirai can flicker in with a Rapid or Dryad to catch Chell alongside Fumi. But the problem is Vitality purposefully make sure that they are split apart. And with no War Axe, there's no reason for Fumieko to ever peel for Shell. Just play to kill.
There's too much they have in their arsenal right now, especially with the 5,000 gold lead. And the Lord is spawning up top again, so that wave in the bottom lane, it will already be a threat just having a Paquito on the other side. Now that it's a base turret taken out, that's free push onto bot. Fumieko could just wait in bush, and it will already be a mind game for Navi. They're constantly going to be thinking, is the Paquito gonna punish us bot if we move towards Lord? Or is the Paquito sticking and using that?
I mean, they got to start doing their protocols right now. It takes about roughly 12 to 13 seconds to get right from your spawn point all the way down to the end of the lane. So they need to start clearing out these bushes down bot side around that timer just to make sure that Fumieko moves away. And once she's done, then slowly start clearing up to the Lord side.
Because of the expanding rivers as well, it just gives Fumieko so much to play with. He's a race car, bro.
Just flying through, flying through. The Queen is here. And now we wait. Wait, do they know? Oh my god. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, right through it, lethal counter! No way, she tried to be at my forward to go for the poke on City as she overextended, but it was just a bait. Now it's a free Lord. And with Rian down, I believe Vitality are just going to go for the straight push. Lord's going to be up in 4 seconds.
That has got to hurt. That's got to hurt.
It's not just hurt, it's a tilter, Gideon.
I mean, yes, it is a tilter, but at the same time, what can you really do? Oh! Vivian. Another attempt here.
Rapid Dryad, though, locks him down. The RWM is melting Mirai. Thank God for that flicker, because the lethal counter would have found another victim.
It's not over just yet here. No big ultimate from Cine at least. Can Rain steal it? And yes, they got the RWM back.
But she's getting poked down now. It's giving the RWM to lock Cine down. Has the flicker out. Not Ayanami with the Petrified and Furious side, but it's sure they get deleted by Chell. Last baser up top gonna be taken down as Mirai tries to move up forward for Rian to clear.
They're not willing to die for this. They're not willing to die for this base just yet. There's enough minions, and honestly, they could have forced it down, but Keishi finally in a position where actually she does some real damage. Rian as well. She's scaled up to the max items, and if the Art of Thievery is maxed out with the Golden Staff, I don't think Vitality can hold it out, especially without some Winds of Natures around, which they use very early on in that fight.
I'm just scratching my head right now, trying to think of a way for Navi to come back against Vitality, who've scaled up. Because even if we talk about scaling, this is a carry and a Yve.
Exactly, and I think the worst part about it is that the fact that they have guarantees on this Lord, I think they need to kill Vival at some point. The question is what timer is good. I would say around 30 seconds is pretty good, arguably even 20, but Vival just refuses to die and is always so close to her team.
The only time she died was when she brute forced Turtle 1, and even then she died with the Turtle after securing a big objective for the team. Rian has the Wind Talker, right? No more boots. She's bootless. She is full damage with a Wind of Nature, but she still gotta respect that lethal counter, man. That big bonk.
Navi, at this point, is just waiting for Vitality to make the mistake. This game is not in their control. It's not in their hands. It's an uncomfortable feeling to be in, but at the same time, you kind of have no choice. There is no out at this point, and I think that much is clear. Vitality, they're going to slowly choke them out. But truly, who can maintain this game, right? We're already going in close to the 20th minute. Eventually, somebody will fall.
Navi have to try to either gamble it around the Lord or just bank on a defense. Because at this point, they're trying to do both. They're trying to set up top to clear the wave after it's been slow pushed. Then they try to go over on Lord. This is a good idea.
Could they sell this? How could they sell this? Did they make Yuzong just walk into Tri-Brush or something?
I think they sell it by just waiting for someone to walk up right now. And they clear it out. They know the timer is up right there for the Lord. So they reveal themselves. And it's still going to be a slow push. Again, they haven't cleared it enough.
Yeah, this is inevitable. This feels inevitable, and Vitality have played this so very well.
They've got to gamble.
They've got to gamble. They got a 50-50, and Fumi already on the top side.
Oh, I don't think they can gamble when Rain is in the base defending, and she doesn't even have good clear against these super minions. Oh, Fumi.
We need to see the super play here. Vivol gonna open up the map.
Chell just holding it as well. Look at the poke from Cine on that Ayanami. That's the main initiator out of the fight. Half HP as Fumi Echo again waits in the bush.
The strength.
Try to go for it. Oh my god, wait, the dragon and the full pounds! That's what in nature. Fumi Echo able to survive right now as that's going to be the Lord taken down as Chell gets the kill on Keishi. Vivian gets away as well and gets the chastised Pauldron. No Purify and no Win of Nature on Rian.
However, at least they were able to trade 1-for-1 here, and Cine ends up going down. I want to see whether Rain already stole the RWM. If she hasn't stolen the RWM, it's going to be a little awkward once the Lord starts pushing in. But even so, really nicely done from both sides.
This is defendable. 30 seconds on Cine. They're going to have time to build up. Now, the question is for Vitality, do they want to bank on a 4v4 instead of waiting for Cine, right? Because if they wait for Cine, this Lord is as good as gone.
Yep. And I mean, big issue is that Cine won't be able to participate in the fight like fast enough. And
no chance.
Unless Vitality just starts slowing, they can't slow their own Lord down. And Navi, they don't mind it coming in quick.
Yep, 10 seconds on Keishi, so it is going to be the gamble. If they can go for a fight before Keishi spawns, and Fumi Echo jumps in. Knockout strike is off! With a crown already used up as Rian goes for the damage again. Damage reduction coming out as Fumi Echo is able to survive, but now it's Vivian caught on the taunt. Still able to get away with G-Kundo, and the Black Dragon form comes around as Vivian is going to get taken very low, but it is Navi staying in this game.
There's still the second wave that we have to worry about. This is where Cine now comes into play with the RWM. They might be able to do something here with it, and they still have the Way of the Dragon. No IMU from Rain, no Wrath of the Dryads coming in from Mirai.
Oh, wait a second, you're right.
Second wave, here we go.
Ultimate's already down, and they still have Cine on the eve. With the damage, with the poke, coming down with the Wishing Lantern. Oh, Ayanami finds Pierce down to Petrify, but she gets baited in, and now it's the RWM to take Ayanami down.
Didn't get max value, but that should be good enough. 2 siege minions there, and Navi, with the Vitality, has to tax him every single time. Oh my goodness, the damage coming in from Yan. Good enough to chunk down Fumiko past 60%.
And they defend again, even with Ayanami down. They have enough firepower with Rian in the late game, having full items, even the bootless with no boots, just a wind talker. That's why she's dealing 1 billion damage.
Oh, this is a really tough game. It's clear that both our ladies here up on stage, they don't want to drop this game. And Vitality, what looked to be some huge momentum, has kind of halted. It's starting to stall out. And Navi, they feel it, but at the same time, it's still not in their control because they're missing all the inhibitors.
I've seen these games before, you know, Gideon. A game that was dominant to one side, but a team just holding out all this time. It was also a yellow team against a sort of orange-yellow team, so it's kind of similar. Very, very similar. It happened in M5. Oh, it's an all-in over for the Echo. Keishi finds a pick together with Mirai. Wrath of the Dryad is what they use to get Fumi Echo, but look at the rest of the team right now as Keishi gets zoned away. It's a free Lord. Rian with the BMI forward. Trying to go for the chase right now with the Black Dragon form as well, but she might just be too far ahead.
Well, but again, trying to force out a fight that they don't exactly have the perfect position on just isn't worth it. But they've already staggered the team of Vitality. They are currently 4v5. Now that the Lord, similar scenario, but at least they have City on their side.
It's all up to Rian, 1, 5, and 4, but the KDA doesn't matter when you've managed to make it to the 24th minute of the game. You have all your items. This is the time for Rian to find that redemption. But Vitality have an Evolved Lord. 4v5, but you have damage reduction. Now it's Rain, who has stolen the RWM. That's the right ultimate to take.
All right, can they play this? Vitality, do they want to force Wrath of the Dry? And RWM already out!
City just took it like a champ right there with the help of the damage reduction from the Evolved Lord. Now the RBM comes down as well.
It's good!
It's Vivian who loses immortality. Mirai's right there. Rian gets bursted down. Chell pops it. Oh, Rain! With a shutdown and the flicker. It's 1-4-1. Both gold laners gonna fall. City trying to run away right now. Has the flicker. Gets away in time as Ayanami goes for the dive and Keishi lands the fracture. But City gets the slow on Keishi. Now it's Vivian with the walk up again. It's Vivo with the lethal counter that doesn't land too much. Onto the members. It's Vivo trying to clear.
Fumi is already here, and now they have an opportunity, but they don't have a wave to actually work with just yet. They could try and collaborate with the rest of the wave to clear and try it one more time, but it's just too late. And Vitality, despite everything they've thrown at Navi, this impeccable wall holds with no inhibitor as they chase them down the map.
What a defense.
Oh my god.
Through how many lords? 4 lords defended. Yes, they are down to just their crystal. But it just shows how tenacious they are. They get back up every single time they get put down.
This is really, really tough game. Both sides understand the pressure, but both sides want to end this clean. Navi now is starting to adapt, realizing, you know what, despite our inhibitors, as long as we make sure the timing is good and we time our tempo to sync up with Vitality's, there is a chance, because they are prone to mistakes too.
Now it's back to the build-up. We take a look at the equipment now. Immortality for Cine. Immortality down for Vivian. We have to take into account some of these immortalities that have already been popping the fight. Hold on, Vivian! With no immortality, opening up those bushes now seem a lot more scary.
They're still pretty tanky overall. The raw burst damage from Navi's side isn't that high, especially against these thicker boys, but that's just chill for you. In the meantime, at least for Rian, plenty of damage here. How did they wait? Vivian in a really awkward spot to get a reaction out of Keishi. And I like this, the fact that they're trying to get all the information and they find it, the taunt, land, oh god.
It's a double taunt on Vivian, wait the dragon there! And it's a big pick at the 26-minute mark. No Wrath of the Dryad though, the rest of Vitality, think about it. With these resources down, do we go for it is the question, but look at the timers right now. Vivian's gonna be down for, I think, a solid minute.
Oh no, this is not exactly the greatest look, but at the same time, at least Vitality immediately say, we need to take control of this. We need to pull the Lord to our side. We need to reset it. Now, Fumi,
what is that damage?
Push.
City gets caught in the RBM, has the flicker out of the way. Fumi echo to the bottom lane, they go as they go for the crazy 50-50. Vivo the lethal counter, resurrection!
He gets it! Wait, they need to cancel the recall. Fumi is already immediately going back, and luckily not Ayanami already expecting and anticipating the motion.
That's the problem against the Bauman. You still need to zone, even if you have the man advantage. No one checked the bushes. They went straight for the Lord, and they paid for it. Now it's time for Vivian to get back up. They're gonna have 5 members pushing in unless, no, the mini waves are still okay. Vivian's not up just yet. That just goes to show how long of the death timers are.
They're trying to synchronize it, and they're going to push all at the same time. However, this time, it's not staggered, and they're looking for a little bit more. City, you cannot afford to die here.
They have to play it very safe. Just go for the poke constantly now. It's Blazing Duet from Rian. Onto Fumi Echo, is able to flicker out the safety now. Mirai trying to go for the Wrath of the Drive, but gets bogged down! Whoa! By the lethal counter!
Nobody was expecting that much damage, but okay, it works out. Vitality now looking for the end.
Minion's already there. Vivian goes over the dragon, but it's actually off. Into the RWM they go. Keishi gets away from mid in time. Now it's a dragon to the skies. They go straight for the crystal. Vitality are up 2-1. The lead in this grand finals.
Oh man, I think Vitality, if we were talking about working